Hey readers, I hope you're doing well. I'm just getting ready to film a book review for tomorrow, Sunday. And it's a bit of a surprise book review. It's a book that I didn't really talk about on my TBR for July, but then I spent a few days reading last week. Anyway, just watch my review tomorrow to find out more about that. But as I was getting ready, I kept thinking about a topic and I thought, why not turn on the camera and talk about it, which is audiobooks, right? Audiobooks are such a big thing. There's this huge industry. There's so many apps and services. And, when you go on YouTube, you can also find audiobooks on this platform and also people talking about them and particularly creators who make content about books, booktubers and such. They talk about whether audiobooks are reading or not. Do they count as reading? You have people who are completely for audiobooks and people who are against them. So I really love to have a good discussion about this. So let me know your opinion. A lot of creators who talk about books on this platform, they seem to read to read audiobooks. They seem to listen to a lot of audiobooks and they talk about it quite openly, which is interesting. And then, I wonder if some people pretend they have read a book when they have listened to it. I don't really think listening to a book or reading a book are the same thing, but I don't think listening to a book is less important or less valuable than reading a book. Okay, so I have no real judgments about this, and I haven't really read any scientific papers saying, indicating why they are different or which one's better. I've heard a lot of people's opinions on it. I'm going to give you my opinion, not on what's better, because I don't know, whatever floats your boat. I'm just going to talk about my experience with audiobooks, okay? So I have listened to audiobooks in the past, even quite recently. I do know what they are, but I have a problem with them. So I want to hear from people who listen to audiobooks because perhaps I'm not listening correctly, but I get distracted. I cannot follow a book on audiobook format. So when I read, I might get distracted, but I would recognize that immediately and I will be able to rein it in and go back in. But when I'm listening to an audiobook, somebody narrating fiction, mostly fiction, that's what I'm talking about here. I'm not really talking about audiobooks in general. I'm talking about novels in audiobook format, okay, or short stories. I get lost. I don't know what they're talking about. I get really confused and I don't know what's going on anymore and I lose the thread. Some people I've heard, that they listen to audiobooks when they are for walks and things like that, or they're exercising. If I'm out for a walk, I get distracted by what I'm seeing. So if I'm listening to Emma by Jane Austen, right? And so in my head, I should be in the early 19th century or in the late 18th century, I don't know, in the Regency era, Napoleonic Wars, that kind of thing. If I'm walking down a mall and I see people wearing t-shirts and jeans, that's going to get me out of it. It's really confusing. That's probably also because I'm used to reading at home and that's what I like. And so when I'm outside, I don't read usually in general, okay? Because I get distracted by what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. So I need silence. I need to be at home when I'm in a familiar setting so I don't get distracted by new shiny things, right? But that's me as a reader. Now, with audiobooks, I can't follow. I get lost. And the funny thing is that I love podcasts. I don't get distracted. I can follow podcasts, talking podcasts easily. So what's wrong with me? What's wrong with audiobooks? I have no idea, but I don't know how people do it basically, you know? So have I listened to audiobooks? Yeah. Not only have I tried, but I've actually listened. The only time audiobooks work for me, and that might be the case with you too, is if I listen to the audiobook and have the text right in front of me, so I follow what is being said. And then it's like I'm doubly focused, right? Because I have the words in front of me and I can hear them. And that can work really well. And I've done that before. Only that sometimes, funnily enough, what happens is that I find that really slow and I get frustrated. So usually with audiobook or podcast apps, you can make them go faster. But then the voice kind of gets a bit ridiculous and annoying, and it also can be stress inducing, which is not good for my mental health. So yeah, how do you listen to audiobooks? Why do people love audiobooks so much? And techniques. I want techniques for listening to audiobooks because perhaps I'm missing out. Let me know, and I'll see you again on my next video, which will be a video review that I'm going to film right now, but you'll be able to watch tomorrow, Sunday. Take care.